are now listening to Regular Guys Podcast. Episode 6 of Regular Guys Podcast. We thank you guys so much for tuning in for another week of Regular Guys. We couldn't be ever more happy to be here. We thank you guys for giving us the opportunity to be in your ear pods at this moment, in your car radio at this moment, wherever you're listening to us from, your phone, on your computer. We thank you so much. I'm your host this week, Matty Ice, and I'm here with my guy, Jake. Jake, tell the people what is good, man.
And what's up, guys? Appreciate you tuning in. I know you have other podcasts to listen to. Like our good host PJ always says, there's plenty of others, but we appreciate you taking the time and listening to ours. Much appreciated.
Yeah, man. PJ's not here. As you guys heard last week, he was equipment, whatever. So he had like rookie mini camp. No, he didn't. I don't even know why we're still continuing this.
Remember, he was mid-stroke last. He had a stroke last week, so
he's getting that checked out this week. That's why he
Yeah.
can't be here with us. But we got a good show for you guys planned this week. Our theme is best players on bad teams. So we're going to break that down for you guys. Going off topic in the NFL, we're going to talk about the new NFL jersey number changes. We're also going to talk about the great Tim Tebow back in the NFL, and as well as our first reactions on the NFL schedule. And then in the NBA, we're going to consider our – this is really not going that great right now. Excuse me, guys. We're going to continue our best players on bad teams theme. We're going to also look into how Jake thought the Knicks were going to beat the Lakers, but that didn't work out. But it was a good game, though. I'll give him that. I will give him that. Also look into the postseason and then our take on the play-in tournament, if we think it's good for the NBA or it's hurting the NBA. And we will continue with our ending segment, as always, the hype. So to get underway, we are going to start off with best players on bad teams. Now, for you listening right now, this could literally mean whatever you may think it is. We are just simply going to look at players who were really good, but the team was just bad, to the simple fact that no matter what this certain player did, the team couldn't get as far. So, Jake, let us know what your best player on the bad team is for the NFL.
So I went with Megatron, Mr. Calvin Johnson. He was phenomenal with the Lions. So good, in fact, that we all remember that the Lions went 0-16 in 2008. Matt, how do you have a guy that is as amazing as a player as Megatron and you go 0-16? How is that possible?
Megatron was not supposed to do a lot of the things he did at his frame. I don't know exactly his size. I want to say he was somewhere along the lines of like 6'4".
He was 6'5", 237.
6'5", 237. You know his 40 time?
I think it was 4.6, but let me double check.
This guy was a gazelle running at you for his size.
It was actually 4.3. I was actually really off. 4.3 at 6'5".
6'5", 230. Think about this. Goodness gracious.
That's crazy.
This is a specimen.
Yeah. So 2008, his stats, just so you know, 78 catches. He had 12 touchdowns and 1,331 yards. So the production was there. To say that, oh man, if only they had a weapon, he was the weapon. You couldn't ask for a better weapon than Calvin Johnson. There was no excuse. Really couldn't.
Goodness. And this man was getting double team, triple team, did not matter.
Yeah.
Throw it up to 81. He's somewhere over there. he's gonna come down with it. It really sucks that he got drafted by the Lions, and his talent for a good majority of his career got wasted. I mean, I
Yeah,
really don't blame him for retiring kind of early then.
they only made the playoffs twice and lost in the first round each time. So it's not
Yeah,
like he even got a chance. And that one year where he almost had 2,000 receiving yards, that was back in 2012. I don't know if you remember that season.
yeah, I
He
remember.
had 122 receptions.
Sheesh, what a guy.
And granted, he only had 5 touchdowns that year, but the almost 2,000 yards is insane. That's 122 yards a game. He was moving you the ball. And I just, again, no success on that team. If you want to say quarterback, I mean, he had Matthew Stafford for a good portion and still nothing. So that's my guy for best player on a worst
Yeah,
team.
and I just to kind of ended up there with Megatron. I'm look for those who are listening. I mean, I consider Jerry Rice to be the greatest receiver of all time. PJ would say otherwise with Moss. I can't wait to debate that. But if it weren't for the rings, I'll have to look at how Megatron's stats add up with Calvin with Jerry Rice's. But I think, man, pound for pound, Megatron might be the best receiver. This is one guy who, in my eyes, I don't know if he ever got locked down. Best corner, 2 guys on him, 3 guys on him, jump ball situation, crisp route runner, 4.3 speed, 6'5", big body, 230 specimen. This guy was just, it
Yeah, I
sucks.
mean, the only reason why you can say the ratio for targets and receptions is down, you could honestly blame that on the quarterback accuracy.
Yeah, I mean, didn't he have John Kitna as his quarterback for a while before
Yeah,
they
like
drafted Stafford?
yeah.
And you could
We don't
probably even
have
say
we
Matt
don't have to
Stafford
go yeah.
as another good guy on a bad team. I mean, the fact that he's gone now, I'm looking
Yeah,
forward to what he could do with the Rams. But
that's gonna be nice.
yeah, going into who I have now, look, some of you guys might have forgot about this guy. This guy might have kind of been a Marshawn Lynch, maybe before Marshawn, maybe not. But Steven Jackson of the used to be St. Louis Rams. Now, this guy was an absolute animal, just absolute animal. Let me see if I can get some measurements here. This guy was okay. Now look at this. This guy was 6'2", 240. 6'2", 240. Okay. Now he was drafted 04 to the St. Louis Rams, played for them for 9 years. Now, just to kind of rid off, he played, let's see, 11 years in the NFL. Looks like 11 years in the NFL. So in that 9-year span that he played for the Rams, he had 10,138 yards. 9-year
Sheesh.
span, 10,138 yards.
Sheesh.
This guy was a one-man wrecking crew, but it did not matter. The team was bad. And it sucks because they were not that far shied away from the greatest show on turf, the Rams, who had won the Super Bowl. I think it was 99, if I'm not mistaken, Warner and crew. Warner got benched for I can't remember his name. Something with the B, but that guy was not that great either. They had Sam Bradford, who many thought he was going to be the guy coming out of Oklahoma. He
We
just
saw
showed
how
us.
that turned out.
Yeah, he was just check down Charlie. But just to riddle off some records here, 2007 they went 3-13. Okay, so you say it can only go up from there, but it didn't. 2008, 2-14.
Oh no.
2009, 1-15. Okay, so it
You
did go up finally. 2010, 7-9. Cool. 2011, we're back at the bottom, 2-14.
jeez.
It was bad, man. It was
Were
so.
those Jeff Fisher days?
So Jeff Fisher was coaching 2012 to 2015, but his win-loss ratio is 27 wins, 36 losses. The coaches before him, Steve Spagnuolo was 2009 to 2011. My guy was 10 and 38.
He only got that job because of what he did with the Giants.
Yep. Which,
Yeah.
hey, I mean, rightfully so. If you're going to be a great defense coordinator, offense coordinator, help your team win a championship, I get it. You know, you deserve to be.
I mean, you shut down a team that went undefeated in the regular season.
Yeah, a team who many might
So,
think as is the best team of all time, although they didn't win the championship, but at least a good top 2, top 5
mhm.
explosive offense. Before him, Jim Haslett. I don't know who that guy is, but he was 2 and 10, so he was so
That's
bad.
probably why.
Yeah, he didn't even last. He didn't even finish the season in 08 because they finished 2 and 14. So my guy got kicked out
Sheesh.
2 weeks before. Scott Linehan was 2006 to 08. I don't even know who that is either. He was 11 and 25. The St. Louis Rams were so bad they had to move.
We're back to LA.
They had to move back to LA. They needed a new change in scenery. So yeah, that is my my guy for a good person on a bad team, Steven Jackson. He went on to play after the Rams 3 more years, 2013, 2015, for the Falcons for 2 years, and then ended his career with the Patriots. So let us know down in the comments, who do you have for someone that we may have missed? Good person, best players on a bad team. Let us know in the comments, or let us know if you also agree. Let us know if you even remember Steven Jackson. I'm not gonna lie, when I was researching for the show, I completely forgot about Steven Jackson. But this would explain why.
Yeah.
This is how that's how bad the team was. So
Unless you were a real big football fan or a St. Louis fan, it's really hard to know who Steven Jackson was.
yeah,
The only when you think of Steven Jackson, maybe
yeah,
you just go to basketball.
yeah. And that's the thing,
Yeah.
when you go to look up some stats and dig into the player, you type in Steven Jackson, the basketball player comes up first. So I'm like, dang man, disrespect. The disrespect. So we're going off topic. Now, you guys might have seen within the last week or two, the NFL has a new rule change. That rule being NFL jersey numbers. Um, Now, this allows your running backs, quarterbacks, tight end receivers to wear numbers from, I want to say, 1 to 40, if I'm not mistaken, or 1 to 50 or 49. And then you have 80 through 89. And then it also allows your defensive linemen, linebackers, and corners and safeties and such. It literally affects everybody except for your offensive lineman, which sucks. I am a fellow offensive lineman, and it's unfair how the offensive linemen get no love. I want to start a petition.
What number would you have picked? Let's say you're offensive lineman right now. What number would you go with?
I would have chose number 1. No,
Oof.
I lied. 0.
Okay.
If that was in college, it's a number. They're allowing the number 0. But in NFL, it would have just been 1, so I probably would have chose 1.
Dang.
Offensive linemen need love, man.
Dang.
But
They do. We saw what happened in the Super Bowl when you don't have offensive linemen.
exactly. But yet they're limited to 50 to 79. The disrespect. So Jake, tell me your thoughts on this new NFL rule change. Are you for it or are you against it?
I'm 100% for it. I don't understand why the NFL took so long to make this rule change. Every other sport, you walk in there, they'll tell you these are the numbers available. Which one do you want? And you pick the number, they stitch it up, and it goes for sale. Literally how it happens.
Yep.
The NFL is the only professional sport league that is so strict with the numbers. I don't get it. I don't you barely let them be creative with their cleats. Like it's just recently that they can start doing, and it has to be for like a
Special events.
foundation. Yeah,
Yeah.
something special that there's the only reason why they can have customizable cleats. Like I don't get it. You're restricting your players so much. Why can't they just be a little bit more expressive? It's nothing vulgar. You're just changing a number. Like I just don't understand what the whole deal is. I'm happy they at least have some type of freedom, even though it's still restricted, but you know, I like it.
Yeah, same. I know if PJ was here, he is the old head of the group, so he would obviously tell us that he hates it. Me personally,
Jesus.
man, I love it. I really do love it. It's like you said, every sport, and if we're just sticking to the game of football itself, literally Pop Warner guys are wearing low numbers at all positions. High school, you have different guys wearing different numbers. Back when I played, we had a linebacker wearing number 2, we had a linebacker wearing number 1. You can literally, and I'm gonna say this here. I got into a little spat on social media. No, I'm not cyberbullying. So before you guys go criticizing me for cyberbullying, one guy completely was just on PJ's side as far as like not liking it. He said, "Well, how are they supposed to understand blocking assignments?" And I said, "What? If you mean to tell me you don't know where the heck Aaron Donald is every single play, you don't know where Jalen Ramsey or Stephon Gilmore is every single play just
Because
because
they
of a
changed their
number."
number.
So Stephon Gilmore is going to go from 24 to 2, and you're just automatically not going to see where he's at.
It's like when when Clark Kent goes from Superman, all he does is take his glasses off. I'm so
Right. Like,
confused.
are we serious right now? But see, his argument was, oh man, how will the offenses adjust? You have these receivers changing their numbers too.
Mhm.
So what? Stephon Gilmore is not going to see Stephon Diggs because he's number 2 now?
2 versus 2.
What, bro? What? Are we serious right now, man? Me personally, I love it. I've been doing it already in Madden before they even started.
Everybody got low numbers.
Yeah, everybody got low numbers. Shoot, if you see my New York Jets team that I had, I got freaking Isaiah Simmons wearing number 1 back there. So I'm all for it. I also agree with you as far as the being able to express yourself through, like your cleats and designs and whatnot. Let them do it, man. Let them, have a little bit more swag to them. I mean,
Yeah,
the NBA,
obviously you want to make sure there's no profanity, there's
yeah,
nothing
no, yeah, drug
crazy on
related,
there.
yeah,
But if they're literally just having different color schemes where it might be out there, it doesn't match the team colors whatsoever.
yeah.
For example, if Odell comes out there with lime green, purple, and orange on his cleats,
Let them
just
do it.
different color, what's the big deal with it? Why
Yeah.
not?
He's wearing your helmet color. He's wearing your jersey, color scheme, everything. I don't understand why they don't let. I mean, look at the NBA, and that's why the NBA is setting the example as far as a player friendly league. I mean, you got PJ Tucker out here wearing every single shoe on this earth in each
Yes.
quarter. It don't even match what the Milwaukee Bucks are wearing as far as color scheme right now. So I'm all for that. I'm all for this number change. I've actually loved a lot of the different numbers that we have seen. Just to name a few, the ones that I saw, Deshaun Jackson, who's new receiver for the Rams, will be surprising his role as number 1. That was the number he wore in college. I think Woods also, it was a battle between him and Jalen Ramsey, I think, for number 2, if I'm not mistaken. So he's wearing number 2 again. Some rookies also too. I know Elijah Moore, your guy
He's gonna
Jake.
stick with 8.
Yep, he's gonna be sticking with 8. That's what he wore on Ole Miss. So
Sterling Shepard went from 87 to number 3.
yeah,
I think that looks clean. Like if you
yeah. And
put the
there's some
3 on
defensive
that
guys.
Giants, yeah.
There's some defensive guys who made some switches. I have to look, but you guys let us know down in the comments, yay or nay on the new NBA, NFL rule change number wise. We're all for it here. PJ's not, but he's not here. So, in other off-topic news, don't blink now because Tim Tebow is back.
Oh God.
Do not blink. Look here.
Jeez.
I've let Jake be super ecstatic about the Knicks. I'm going to take this same route for my boy Tim, but I'm not going to be as bad. I am all for Tim Tebow returning. It does not mean he's going to make the roster, but I am all for it. When he was in the league, this was a position change. A lot of the NFL coaches, team owners, GMs wanted him to make. Become a tight end, become a fullback. You will last longer. And He didn't. He wanted to become an NFL quarterback. Obviously, we saw how that happened. He had the one good playoff game against the Steelers. So if you're a Steelers fan, you might want to stop listening now. To Demaryius Thomas, quick one play to score, game over. And then of course they got knocked out to the Pats the following year or following round. But then he bounced around from team to team, the Jets, the Pats, the Eagles. I don't know if there's any other ones, but I'm not saying Tim's going to be great at it. He is on the wrong side of 30, 33, I believe.
He'll be 34 before the season starts.
Yeah, but he does have the speed. He does run super strong. The only question I have is his catching ability. I am a Gators fan. We never saw Tim Tebow catch. We did see him run. He is a physical runner. He will not shy away from the physicality part of the sport. And if you look at the depth chart on the Jags, I don't even know any of these guys. So
I think the only one was O'Shaughnessy, and that's just because I've seen his name in Madden. But like that's about it. But that's not a guy that is gonna scare you at tight end. I don't know, man. Tim Tebow, everyone talks about the way he runs. I mean, that's cool and all. Mike Vick ran what, a 4.7 at the age of 40? What, so he should come back into the league and play running back?
nah, bro, slot receiver.
Okay, so he just come back in the league just because he can run fast and
Yeah,
just
man.
go ahead.
I mean, 4.7 as a receiver though is slow.
Okay. Well, anyways,
He still be fast as a quarterback though. 4.7.
hey,
That's
all
blazing.
power to Tim Tebow. I think he's gonna make the team. It's Urban Meyer. And the only reason why I think he makes the team is because when he was in the minors for the Mets. So last season he made double A All-Star game. And he got called up to triple A. Right after that, he was pretty successful and he got a spring training invite. And he was gonna be called up to the majors. But I wouldn't, and that was right when NFL offseason happened. So I could imagine Urban Meyer already knowing that where he was going to go, because you knew the Jags were doing all their coaching way before any of us knew what was happening. So I wouldn't be shocked if Urban Meyer said, "Hey, maybe even try to get him to coach." He didn't want to, so this is a way to also have him, be a mentor, be somebody on the team. It could be a reason for that also. But why not, like you said, if he
Yeah,
can run the ball, why not just do some type of trick plays? Maybe he only sees the field like 10 times this year.
yeah.
Maybe nothing crazy, but it could be more of a mentor thing. I think I see that more than that actually bringing him to play and be a starting tight end.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and say, man, Tim Tebow's about to be the next
Tony
Kelsey or he's
Gonzalez.
yeah, whatever it is, Shannon Sharp. No, definitely not. Nowhere near that. I'm saying Urban Meyer took a chance, and if it works out and he plays well, Urban's gonna look like a genius. If it doesn't, nobody will ever really talk about it as a, oh man, Urban Meyer, I can't believe he did this and it didn't work out. I mean, it's literally a guy who never played tight end, who made his position change. So you're not really expecting him to be the great or whatever the case is. I mean, he's not even going to come in. And if he does make the roster, command like superstar talent type receiving targets. I mean, they got DJ Chark, Laviscus, Chenault, and Marvin Jones on the team.
Yeah.
So those guys are going to see way more targets than he ever will. It's just, and I don't even know if Trevor Lawrence, I don't know if their scheme is fit to feature the tight ends. It might be more receiver heavy and running back heavy and just, oh, hey, here and there, let's throw a couple to the tight end. So
Yeah, especially because you have James Robinson. He showed that he can catch in the backfield.
yeah.
And then I don't know if you saw the
And then
reports
they drafted.
earlier. Travis Etienne that they drafted,
Yeah.
they had him lining up at receiver
Yeah.
during
Yeah.
training
I
during
saw
mini
that they were going
camps.
to try to let him be the third receiving back.
Yeah, so if you
So
have two running backs that can catch, one can probably split to slot. You have Chark, Jones, Chenault, which I like Chenault.
same.
He's not fast, but
He
that
kind of
doesn't mean you
reminds me of
can't.
Jarvis Landry.
Yeah,
Like
I like that.
he's not afraid to get, his pads down and lower the boom.
Yep, right in the middle of the field, right where it's
Yeah.
heavy. I'll catch the ball, get
Yep.
you your yards.
So
I like him. I think it's a good guy for.
I like it. I just want to be there for the pregame speech when they're going into halftime and they're down like 7. His Tim Tebow gonna go full Gators and
I
look
need
at
a,
me.
the next 30
I need
minutes
for
of
the
your
next
life.
30 minutes of your life. I need. Whoa, Tebow, you're a tight end. Let Lawrence do his thing, bro.
Trevor Lawrence is trying to hype everybody up. The next 30
For
minutes
the
of your
next 30
life.
minutes of your. So we'll see. Let us know. Are you excited? Are you buying the Tebow mania, or are you just saying nope? This is not gonna work. Let us know. So another off-topic news, we saw the NFL release the schedule for all 32 teams this past Wednesday. Jake, tell me your first initial thoughts on the NFL schedule release.
The first game that I saw was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at New England, Foxborough. That's week 4. It's a Sunday night game also. If you want to talk about bringing in the viewerships, bringing in the money for ads, NFL did amazing with this. Everyone's going to be talking about this game. That's probably one of the biggest games of the year. Just because Pretty Boy Tom is going back to face Bill Belichick. He's never faced him before as an opponent.
Yeah.
That's going to be really good. So I'm excited for that. Just as a football fan, that's probably one of the games I'm excited for.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one too, especially to see which quarterback is going to be facing off against Pretty Boy Tom. Will it be Cam? Will it be Mac Jones? So that's a good battle. There's also some really good ones I saw. But my first initial thoughts, I'm going to give some love here to my Indianapolis Colts. Now, if you're a Colts fan and you're listening to this, you know that we have been constantly thrown under the bus when it came to the NFL schedule. We never got any home game primetime games, or never really got many home or primetime games in general. So this year, we got 4 of them. Now, one of them is a home primetime game, Thursday nighter, to Jake's Jets. So I'm happy about that. We get to see if Zach Wilson is the real deal. But the other 3 are a Monday nighter against the Ravens in Baltimore. So that's great. I haven't seen – last time I saw the Colts play Monday night, we were getting shellacked to the Saints 2 years ago. I mean, that's probably why they didn't give us many last year, which I don't blame them. And then we play the Niners on Sunday night in San Fran. And then we got a Christmas Day game against the Cardinals. So I'm super happy. Looking at the schedule, there's possibly a room for a 5th. It says to be determined as far as time-wise against the Pats. I think it's like week 15. So depending on how both teams are looking, that could be moved up to a 4:15 or a Sunday nighter. It depends on what happens. But I'm happy. It's time for the Colts to show the rest of the world, to show America if they're legit or not. It's a pretty good schedule this year. You're going to play some pretty good premier talent, some pretty good receivers, some great receivers. So it's time to show what we're made of. It's time to show to see if Carson Wentz is what we saw in Philly or if he's legit what we saw in his year 2. So that's something that I was really excited for my initial reaction.
Yeah, and that week 15 that you were saying for the Colts were says to be determined. The Jets actually have that also. It's at Miami, and it's either the 18th or the 19th, and then a time to be determined. So if it's the 18th or 19th, I'm trying to see what those dates are for December 18th. So December 18th is a Saturday or Sunday. Already for week 15, we're looking at a Saturday game possibly.
Wow.
So I know they
Like that.
changed when they added a game this year, so I don't know if that's why.
Yeah.
But I think it's also going to determine on how the AFC East is even by that time. Because
Yeah.
definitely by week 15, you'll know what's going on. Like if it's the Bills and they're running away with it, it's going to be a 1:00 game on Sunday.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I will say this, man. This NFL schedule release day got everyone hyped for football again. I can't wait for the season. I hope there's preseason games. I want to see some of the.
I think there's 3.
Yeah, I saw them slated for 3 on the schedule, but let's hope COVID doesn't wipe them out again. I hope they play them. I want to see a lot of the guys who aren't really slated to start. A lot of maybe these rookie quarterbacks, maybe some of these rookie quarterbacks drafted last year, Jordan Love. I want to see him play. Although it's preseason, I want to see you play. Let me see what you're about because you didn't get a chance to last year. So,
And even the rookies now, they might need to get a little bit more action too, because
yeah,
a lot of things are different still with COVID. Training camps a little bit different. Granted, they're having a rookie one this year. I'm not sure if they had one last year.
they
If
didn't. So that
they
is,
did it,
yeah,
yeah.
the big one that I'm waiting for is the mandatory
OTAs.
OTAs.
Yeah.
If those still go and you have if you have all your teams show up all across the board, all 32 teams, it'll give me good hope that preseason will happen. I mean, the fact that we have rookie mini camps already, we didn't have this last year. Obviously, last year COVID was super fresh. So
Yeah.
it's a step in the right direction. Man, do we miss some football? So let us know down in the comments. What does your schedule for your favorite team look like? And be on the lookout for in the summer. We're going to try to break down all 32 teams and give some predictions for all the teams that we break down. But
One game that I am excited for, and then we can end this topic.
yeah.
Jets play the Jags week 16. So you
Oh,
got the
one
number one
versus
pick.
two.
Yes,
One
and
versus two. That's going to be good.
it's
I'm going to
in
actually
New
watch
York
that.
too. So I'm excited for that game. That's
Yeah,
gonna
and
be
then
cool.
your boy Sam Darnold makes a return.
Yes, week
Or no.
one. Yeah,
Wait, no,
week
you
one.
guys go
Oh, we
to.
go to them, but it's
Okay,
still
yeah, it's still good. Yeah.
you're
So we'll get
still
to see.
playing. Let's see if Sam Darnold lights it up. You know how the New York media is gonna be.
Yep.
Oh no, they messed up. It was really the
Sam
coaching. It
Darnold, bro.
was
Yeah, and then from then
yeah,
on out, Zach Wilson will have to show he's good because if not, they'll always say they made the wrong choice. So
yeah.
some
I'm
good
excited.
headlines, like you mentioned, Pretty Boy Tom returning back to Foxborough, number 1 versus number 2 pick, going off. So some good stuff. But that is going to end our NFL segment for this show. We're at a good stopping point to hit a halftime and hear a word from our sponsor.
This episode of Regular Guys is sponsored by Fed the Line. Fed the Line is the perfect place to find streetwear clothing for men and women. Fed the Line is known for their super comfortable hoodies that you can wear at home or on the go. Their new tie-dye summer collection is coming soon. For a limited time, receive a free water bottle just by adding it to your cart, and for the next 7 days, enjoy 20% with promo code REGULARGUYS on fedtheline.com. Welcome to the Schwab family.
And we are back. We thank the folks over there at Fed the Line so much for sponsoring this week's show. Make sure you go out and use that promo code Regular Guys on her website. Also, too, man, get yourself a nice water bottle. I saw them. They're not your average water bottle, man. You can wear your Fed the Line hoodie and swag out with a nice water bottle, too.
Yeah, man, that stuff. We were checking out their Instagram last week. That stuff it's legit.
It's legit, man. Yeah.
It's really legit. I'm definitely gonna try to use our own promo code. I
Yeah,
don't know if
man.
we're supposed to, but hey, might as
Hey,
well.
why not, man? So continuing on with our theme, best players on bad teams. This time we're going to be discussing with the NBA, and this time I will start off. I am going to start off with someone who is playing right now, and a lot of you may not really even know him. He's kind of being in that Devin Booker effect. I'm not saying he's as good as Devin Booker, but he's progressing every single year. And he could potentially be, fit that new underrated role. That guy is De'Aaron Fox, point guard of the Sacramento Kings. So he's been in the league 4 years. The Sacramento Kings have been bad in those 4 years. Let's look at the records. 2017, 2018 season, they were 27-55. 2018, 2019 season, they got better, 39-43. 2019-20 season, 31-41. And this year, I'll have to double check to see if this is true right now, but they are 31-39, and they were just eliminated for the play-in tournament. De'Aaron Fox, ladies and gentlemen, is somebody who is being slept on, and this team is not going anywhere no time soon. If you look at his points per his averages each year, his rookie year 11.6, so only way is up, and he did go up. 2018, 2019, he went from 11.6 to 17.3. 2019, 2020, he went from 17.3 to 21.1. And then this year he's averaging 25.2. So he's showing I'm legit. He may not be a Curry, he may not be a Chris Paul, Westbrook, maybe even a John Morant, but he is really good. But he gets overshadowed by how bad the Sacramento Kings are. And this team is head coached by Luke Walton, who I'm going to say this now should not be a head coach anymore. Maybe an assistant. I feel like it's kind of that Jason Kidd role. Maybe not as much. I feel like they gave Jason Kidd a head coaching job based off his name. But to be honest, he probably didn't deserve to be one. Luke Walton, I heard so many good things of, oh, he's got a great mind. I mean, but did the great mind help him when he was playing? I mean, yeah, he's got some rings, but
I mean, that's all because of Kobe.
Yeah, let's be honest.
Let's be honest. Luke Walton's not out here with rings because he was out here carrying the team.
Yeah, I mean, Rick Fox was probably a bigger player than he was. Like, that's how bad it was. So I think it's time to go. They've had so many good talents come through. De'Aaron Fox wasn't the only one. Boogie was drafted by them. Boogie was great. Team was not before Boogie. Tyreek Evans. I think in Tyreek's time, though, they might have made the playoffs. I could be wrong, but it was a first-round exit. And, of course, Tyreek Evans was never the same after an injury he faced. So that is my guy, De'Aaron Fox, as best player on a bad team. Who you got, Jake?
So for me, I went also real recent. I went Karl Anthony Towns. He was drafted in 2015, first round, first pick. He's been phenomenal ever since. First year averaged 18, and then literally sophomore season, this man drops 25 a game. It's ridiculous. Like, he's working and working. And when we were talking about bigs the other day, just randomly, me and Matt said Minnesota is where a place that big men go to die. Like, they don't develop them well. They don't use them. They don't grow around them. They don't put talent around them. And just to show you, like, when they had Kevin Garnett, first round exits from 1996 to 2002, 2003 season. They finally went to the Western Conference Finals in that 03-04 season. With Kevin Garnett, they only made it to the Western Conference Finals once. And then with Karl Anthony Towns, in the 5 seasons he's played, they went to the playoffs once. And that was a season that Jimmy Butler was there, 2017, 2018. And what happened? They won one game in the first round, and basically they lost 4-1 in that series. And
they should have kept Jimmy.
They barely made it, though. That's the thing. They were the 8th seed. There was no play-in at the time. Play-in started last year. So it was 8th seed was the last seed. Every other year, their best finish has been the 11th seed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
like they're not helping. And then this year, they had, they added the Ant, Edwards, and they added D'Lo too, but haven't seen anything from him. It's not working out. I don't know, man. Karl Anthony Towns, bro, get out if you can. I know you're probably listening to this podcast. So it's the best podcast in the world. Yeah, man. Get out.
Get out, Cat, man.
Get out. Come to New York.
Team up with New York, or go team up with Booker. So just do something.
Do something, man.
Yeah, what's his name? Garnett might be the one exception to the big man dying in Minnesota rule. Just because they made the playoffs a lot more. Yeah, they were first round exits, but they at least made it. I mean, Cat's only been once. I don't even think Kevin Love made it when he was there. and he was a double guy every single night. He was helping, revolutionize the stretch four big shooting wise. So, yeah, I don't know what it is, man, but Minnesota just these premier talent guys, these guys who are great lottery picks, they just don't do well with them. I mean, they also had what they were hoping was going to be their best or their version of a big three, a young big three. They had Wiggins and Zach LaVine at one time with Cat. And I mean, we all see what Zach LaVine is doing now for the
Jeez, he
Bulls.
is killing it.
He is
He's
going,
another guy. He needs to get out. He
yeah.
needs to
So
get
it's
out
like,
of Chicago.
what happened there that we didn't see this Zach with the Timberwolves? I mean, Andrew Wiggins is Andrew Wiggins, a bust of a first
He's not doing
overall
bad
player.
with Golden State though.
He's
But he's
not,
playing
but
his role.
yeah, this is his role. But as the number one draft pick, this
Oh yeah,
should
it's a
not be
bust.
this should not be your role. So, Cat, again, man, we know you're listening, regular guys, because you're a
So
regular
with
guy too.
Kevin Love, their best, spot was the 10th. 10th seed was their best with Kevin Love.
Heck, the best.
They never qualified for the playoffs with Kevin Love.
That's crazy.
That's
Kevin,
insane.
Kevin, if you're listening,
Kevin, get out of Minnesota.
He got out of Minnesota. He went and got himself a ring.
Uh,
Now he needs to get out of Cleveland because Cleveland is not it right now.
Well, I mean, he's not it either. He's not healthy.
He's not, but I'm not saying he would return back to Minnesota, Kevin Love. But Kevin Love on like maybe the Blazers would be serviceable.
Well, hey, look at Melo. Well, Melo's more than serviceable, I think. But I mean, you could put him on a team like look, Blake Griffin. We all thought he was done. You put that guy on the Nets, and he found the fountain of youth. This man went from not dunking in a couple seasons to, oh no, I'm a posterize now.
Yeah. So just
you never know.
You don't even have to start, man. Just come off the bench, be a nice six man. I do think that the Timberwolves really did mess up by letting Jimmy leave. Now, yeah, they barely made it, 8th seed. Jimmy was trying to create something there because he sees the talent that Cat is, that they had there. So he was kind of playing that Kobe role. We all remember that one story, Kobe in practice was just going off on his teammates. They were just horrible. Their work ethic sucked. Jimmy was literally doing the exact same. There was a story that was going out at that time that they put the starters up and they gave Jimmy 4 scrubs. Jimmy Butler beat them in practice and then told them, y'all need me. And it is true.
Yeah.
I think they needed that fire to help bring them together.
Yeah.
But I get it. It's not for everyone. To be treated like that, to have a teammate look at you and, speak to you like that, it's not for everyone. Obviously, it is for the Miami Heat because Jimmy Butler is thriving and, accelerating with that team. And guys like Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Bam, they're all taking to it because they know he's their leader. And that,
well, I mean, you have Haslam that's still there, and I
getting
bet
ejected at 50. But
you saw that? This man was ready to square up.
Minutes. He played like 2 minutes, was ready to square up on Howard. I mean, I get it, but come on, UD.
So
you're trying to get that shine time. We see
when Jimmy Butler was there, they were the 8th seed. That was their best finish since the 03-04 season when they were the 1st seed in the Western Conference Finals. Besides that, they never had any type of qualification. It's like that was their best finish in 13 years at that time. And hey, new ownership. A-Rod finally got ownership of the Timberwolves. It was official this week.
Hopefully he changes something.
Yeah, I don't know if he's a basketball guy, but he's definitely a sport and competitive guy. And I think he knows how to surround.
Yeah.
He's going to know how to surround himself with the right people, the right minds.
Yeah.
So,
A-Rod, listen to this podcast, man. Be a team builder.
Everybody listens to this podcast.
Everyone does. A-Rod, maybe we can get you on the show. You and Ant. Mm-hmm. Although Ant doesn't know who you are, and you're about to be signing his checks. But going off topic. Oh, well, before we go off topic, you guys let us know down in the comments. Do you agree? Or obviously we know we're missing a ton of people who are in bad situations. I mean, Devin Booker, you could say before Chris Paul got there. You could say Bradley Beal. before, I mean, they qualify for the play-in with him and Westbrook. You could say Westbrook when it was just him on the Thunder when Durant left them. So you guys let us know down in the comments. Do you agree with us, or there's anybody else that we didn't think of? And
Would you say Lillard?
I can't say Lillard because although they've been a lot of one and done, they still make the playoffs. McCollum, CJ McCollum is nice. The return of Melo is nice. I just feel like they're a big man away. Like if you give them Cat, oh, it's a different ball game.
You think so? You think it's just the big man spot?
I think so. Dame is going to do Dame. CJ is nice. He's going to play. He's going to shoot the ball. He's a little scrappy on defense. I like it. He's not like elite, but he's nice. And the return of Melo, who knows his role and he's thriving in it. But it's like, who's their big man? Joseph Nurkic? Who is that guy?
And Cantor. Probably if you get like I don't want to speak too much on here, but I think if you get, like you said, probably with Cat, it would help. But I also think they need some guy on the bench outside of Melo.
Yeah.
Because the Western Conference is stacked.
Yeah, you need
and
more
it's not
depth
stacked
to play.
for right now. It's stacked for the next 6-7 years.
Yeah, you definitely need some more depth pieces to help you thrive in the playoffs.
At least consistent like 9 to 12 points added on to there. I think they'll be good.
So going off topic, now look, for you guys listening, when me and Jake, we switch turns each week writing the topics. My guy Jake's a Knicks fan. Knicks played the Lakers on Tuesday. So when he showed us the topics list, my guy had in there the Knicks beat the Lakers. The game didn't even play yet. And of course, the Knicks did not beat the Lakers. But
that was a good game though.
But it was a good game. Now Jake's been asking me to show some respect to the New York Knicks. And he doesn't want me to do any of this quoting LeBron James stuff, whatever he's saying. So you know what, Jake? I'm going to give you some respect right now, you and the Knicks. From the game highlights that I saw, I'm not going to say game because we were playing 2K that night.
Oh, yeah. I saw like the last little bit of the overtime. And
I watched it. I watched it through my phone, through ESPN to kind of like keep track with it.
Yeah.
I would say this, Julius Randle is the real deal.
I'm telling you, man.
The team around him, the team together is super, super nice. If they can somehow land through free agency, do not trade for anybody, through free agency. I don't know if Dame's going to be up. I doubt it.
There's no real big names in free agency this year. That's the thing.
I think it's next year.
Yeah.
Next year is where you're going to have Curry, Pandemic P. I don't know if you guys know him.
Who?
Right. Kawhi Leonard. If you can somehow, let's just say Kawhi, for instance. If
Kawhi can opt out this year.
Oh, wow. Okay. So let's say you can land Kawhi. You might be the best team in New York.
Did you see Randle stats for today's game?
Yeah, it's
33 points, 10 boards, 13 assists. And that he's a big man, guys. He's not a small forward. He's not a guard. His position is power forward and can slide at the 5 if he has to.
Yeah, man. I love what they're doing. I mean, I'm a big fan of Derrick Rose playing meaningful basketball.
Yo, have you seen his stats lately though?
He's been going off.
Like
not Derrick Rose MVP going off, but it's still really good. I mean, you got good guys. Isn't Mitchell Robinson still out?
He's been out. He's not coming back. No, he's been out for a while.
Yeah. So the fact that you don't even have him, so this Knicks team isn't even complete. So, and obviously we saw them clinch their playoff ticket. So they will be in the playoffs, 4th seed.
No, I think that lost that to the Lakers because we had to win that game. Because if we won that game, it would have given us the 4th.
Okay.
But we lost and the Hawks won.
Gotcha.
That automatically threw us to the 6th seed. So we played the Bucks in the first round.
Goodness. Well,
But we beat the Bucks twice this year.
yeah, and I mean,
And
again,
I
Giannis hasn't
understand
shown me.
I understand it's regular season, but you
Yeah,
still have to win games in the regular season.
yeah,
You
and I
can't
mean, Giannis
just
hasn't really given us his "I've arrived" moment in the playoffs.
yeah.
So, although the series may favor Milwaukee, because I'm not sure if Giannis shows up and he finally shows up and he shows that he's arrived. I mean, that's Giannis on Randle. I don't know if Randle can cover that man like that. Um, so we'll see. It should be a good matchup. But that's it on my New York Knicks love.
I'll
I'll
take it, man. I'll take it.
switch gears to the Lakers. Lakers look good. They have. I will say this. I was somewhat worried because of the simple fact I knew LeBron was going to come back. Obviously, he played today. Him, Davis, Schroeder played today. But then after the Lakers game, my guy AD's hobbling. I'm like, bro, not this. Please, not this. And then he doesn't play against the Rockets. So he played again today. So hopefully, I mean, LeBron says he doesn't think he'll ever be able to get back to 100%. That's complete baloney to me, bro. You're LeBron James. You spend like $1 million and some change on your body every year.
I don't think LeBron has been 100% for the last handful of years. And the only reason why I say that, you made 10 consecutive playoffs. You played in the Olympics during some of those off seasons. He has
Yeah.
a lot of miles on that body,
He
which is
does.
why I can see why maybe not 100%, but I can still see maybe if LeBron healthy is at like 90-95%.
Yeah, and that's my thing. I mean, he kind of makes it seem like, oh, I'm 50%. I mean, bro, you at 70% is still
You
somewhat better than the league.
70% I'll take that over
Heck yeah.
pandemic P at 100%.
Yeah. So we'll see. And that's a good movement into our next off-topic point, a look into the postseason. We had the play-in coming up, playoffs. I want to say start next Saturday. Yes, 22nd, next Saturday. So I'm excited about that. A team that I will say that we can probably each, pick our own, but a team that I'm gonna say I'm looking forward to, I'm gonna say the Lakers. Now I'm gonna say it just for this point. I'm not gonna say it because of the fact I'm a a fan. I'm going to say this because I want to see what the trio of Drummond, Davis, and LeBron can do. We've only seen it twice. 2 games. We saw it today. Now, Drummond's stat line is not going to wow you. I think it was either 11 or 16 points he had today against the Pacers. But where Drummond's stat line is going to wow you is his rebounds. Against the Lakers, I think he had 18. So that's going to be big. And why is he going to be big? You're going to give guys like Anthony Davis and LeBron James multiple opportunities again at scoring. Now, Andre Drummond is no slouch, but I'm not also going to say he's top 2 center in the league. He is, somewhat, serviceable on the offensive side. So they're my team that I'm looking forward to seeing. And I think a lot of teams too. I wanted to continue to, go that route of saying the Phoenix Suns, but man, they haven't looked great to me lately. Maybe you can say they're coasting because they're going to make it, but I don't know. We'll see. I am still happy that they're making it. The Jazz definitely missed Donovan Mitchell. I think they just got Michael Conley back yesterday or today. So, but for me, I'm definitely going to go with the Lakers as my team I'm excited for the postseason. What about you, Jake?
All right. So I have to update on what happened with the seeding. So as the Knicks won today, they have the 4th seed, and they're going to be playing Atlanta in the first round. Miami has the 6th seed, and they're going to be playing Milwaukee. So that's way better for the Knicks. I think they can take Atlanta. I'm excited, obviously, for the Knicks as a Knicks fan, but just as a basketball fan in general, I'm super excited for the Suns. I'm not a Suns fan, but I'm a really big Devin Booker guy. And I also really like Chris Paul, just the way he's incredibly unselfish in this game. Like, and his IQ is off the charts. So I'm excited to see those two. I just want to see something different. I love seeing greatness. Like I'm not one of those guys that hate seeing, oh man, I hate when this player is succeeding. I love seeing LeBron James because I'll be able to say one day I saw one of the greatest players to ever play. I didn't see Michael Jordan, so I can't say that. So I love to be able to say I saw LeBron. But I also don't mind seeing something a little bit different. It changes it up. It makes it kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So just wanted to give that update on the playoff seeding that did change with the Knicks winning today. So they jumped from the 6th to the 4th. So I think that first round's way easier.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this as our last little part of this. It has nothing to do with teams we're excited for. If you are listening now, the only person who I can expect to actually really know this is my brother, who I know listens to the show. He lives in Kerrville, Texas. Before LeBron James, I was a diehard Phoenix Suns fan. I'm going back as far as guys like Leandro Barbosa being on the team, Rajah Bell, Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire, back when they had Grant Hill after the injury, Jason Richardson, back when Shaq was playing on the team and was not doing anything, back when one of the Lopez brothers was drafted to be with us, back when Charlie Fry was playing with. So as you see, I'm not looking at anything on the screen here as far as a roster. I legit knew this team. Mike D'Antoni was the coach. We couldn't play defense to save our lives. But boy, we was going to put up 115. You were just going to put up more because obviously they couldn't play defense. So that's why, I'm extremely happy. I just don't necessarily really care about basketball like I do more so football. If I did, I would have definitely stuck with the Suns. So that's why I'm so happy for them at this point, especially Devin Booker. It was about time. It was about time. I will say I'm happy for teams who have been bad for years, who finally found a way. Knicks, they've been bad since 2013. Finally found a way.
Yeah, they had like in that shortened season, they made the playoffs. And then the year after, the 13-14 season, they were playing good. Nothing happened. And then, so they had 2 really good seasons. And then it's been really bad ever since.
Yeah.
So just me because I was always a Laker fan. Like getting into the sport, because my first sport was always baseball because of my dad. So getting in, trying to find my own, when I started watching basketball, I started watching Kobe. And that was the guy that I loved to watch. But then as I got more into NBA, I was like, oh, I like the culture of the Knicks. Like, that's New York's team. There was no Brooklyn. It was just New York, and that's it, because the Nets were in New Jersey. So I always wanted to. So that's when I started going for the Knicks, and they've always been bad. So I'm kind of happy to.
Yes, sir. I mean, who knows? Maybe when LeBron finally hangs it up, maybe I'll go back to being a Suns fan. I mean, how many Suns fans do you actually know?
Me?
Yeah, like, do you know any Suns fans? I personally don't.
I think Caleb is a Suns fan.
Not necessarily. I think it's more so because he lives there.
Yeah, but he alternates. I
know he's more of a Spurs fan.
He was a Spurs fan, but then
what are we? Come on, Caleb.
When he moved to Utah, all he talked about was the Jazz.
No.
So I don't know.
Wherever he at type fan. I feel you. Join the club, bro. Except for I'm not in LA, so I can't necessarily say that. But moving on to our last topic, Jake, what are your takes on the play-in tournament style? And also, too, I don't know if you can provide an update on the matchups potentially that we might be seeing.
Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna go over the update on the matchups because today I think was the last game of the season for the regular season, so these should all be accurate. So for the play-in for the Eastern Conference, we have Washington playing Indiana, and then Boston's playing Charlotte. And then for the Western, we have Memphis and San Antonio. And then what I think is an incredible series, Lakers, Warriors. I think that's a crazy play-in. Didn't think that would happen, but that is one of the play-in series. And then my take on the tournament style. I love it. Um, I'm I'm all for it. I mean, you never know what can happen. That's the great thing about sports. You can say, "Hey, the best team's supposed to always win." That's not always the case. Sometimes it's the team that just plays harder, that's just trying harder on every possession. Who's the guy that's gonna, if the ball's out, going out of bounds, who's the guy that's gonna die for it? Usually that's the team with the biggest heart that wins. And the only reason why I say that is because I go back to the Giants when they won the Super Bowl in '07. They were a wild card team. Imagine if you didn't have wild card teams in the playoffs. The Giants don't win that Super Bowl. You just have to make it. That's all you have to do. Once you make it, see what happens. So I'm all for it.
I kind of have a little bit of a mixed emotion. I like it in a sense, and I'm not even saying it because the Lakers are potentially going to play. And I think the final season games are tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, from what I'm looking at. Because the Lakers play the Pelicans and the Nuggets play the Blazers. And I think the scenarios where they needed the Trailblazers to lose their last two, which they lost yesterday or Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
So if they lose against the Nuggets, then the Lakers avoid the play-in and they move to the 6th seed. So, but if the Trailblazers win and the Lakers win, then 7th seed goes to
Gotcha.
yeah.
So some of
But
these seeds could be changing within
yeah,
the next like 24 hours.
yeah.
Or
Tomorrow by like midnight, we should know what's gonna happen.
gotcha.
Me personally, I'm not a fan of it. I'll lean more towards that way. I'm not a fan of it because of the simple fact. I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying. It's great for the Charlotte Hornets. It's great for the Memphis Grizzlies because of the young guys they have there. But also, too, I mean, name of the game is you just have to have a better record than the 9th and 10th spots. So you're telling now, granted, the teams in the 7th and 8th, they should be somewhat favored to win. They should be somewhat favored to win. Obviously, in the East, it may be a little different. The West, a Lakers team that's finally getting healthy should be able to beat the Warriors, with how Curry's playing. Yeah, Curry's going to go off, but outside of Curry, I mean, Draymond's okay. I mean, James Wiseman, their number one pick, is out for the season. So defensively, the Warriors are not going to be able to stop them.
Yeah.
But also, too, the Lakers are not going to be able to stop Curry. So, yeah, the advantage goes Lakers. So, but yeah, again, I like it and I don't like it. Like if I'm a team like the Warriors who, for Steph's sake, has gone through this roller coaster all year, and the month of April hit and my guy said, I don't care, I'm going off.
Yeah.
And if they didn't have this, they made the playoffs. That would be a huge accomplishment. But now they have to play another game, and he's got to count on his teammates to show up for the one game. Now, granted, they might just because of the simple fact he's playing great, but I don't know.
Yeah, I get that. But I also like it because, like you said, Charlotte, they're a really young team. You have LaMelo's out there. I think it's good for those teams that are really young, that have great talent.
Yeah,
They just
definitely.
need a click. Getting that playoff experience is crucial to growth.
Yeah, it's good for guys like LaMelo, John Morant. So that's where I'll side with. Like it's good for the young guys. If I'm a LeBron James, AD, Curry, yeah, I'd be pissed.
Yeah, I can see that.
So that's where
But
I'm
it
at.
also helps because let's say, and I get the 7th and 8th, those are so the play-in's basically for the 9th and 10th seeds. Because
For the
7th and
most
8th,
part,
you
yeah.
would have made it.
Yeah.
So and the only reason why you have to bring in that 10th seed in is because it just makes it even.
Yeah.
So you would have to do 2 bye weeks, basically. 2 seeds, like the top 2 teams. Don't have to worry about anything. Like right now, Utah's waiting to play the 8th seed, and Philly's waiting to play the 8th seed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
unless you did like some type of bye week, then the play-in would really only be for like the 9th seed.
Yeah.
But because honestly, I don't see how San Antonio made it. I don't.
I don't either. I
That's
don't
just
think
great coaching. That's really all that
it's just
is.
all pop. I mean, because you got
DeRozan, that's
DeRozan
it.
over here already talking about exploring free agency, so it's not even like he's gonna be back.
He's been trying to get out.
Yeah, so sure he might try to lose the game early so that way he can already start to think about the
uh,
offseason.
Coach, I'm hurt. I'm hurt.
But yeah, that's where we stand. You guys let us know. Are you for the play-in style tournament to secure the 7th and 8th seeds, or are you against it? Let us know. We would definitely love to hear what you have to say. But that ends our NBA segment. We are going to move into our last segment of the day, and that is the hype. Jake, let let the regulars know what you are hyped for this week or the month of May in general.
Hype for the month of May. Just sports really like baseball's kicking up, is getting a little more competitive. Um, just playoffs right now. Everything's clicking right. There's nothing really up there, but I'm just excited, man. I talk about it a lot, but the Knicks in the finals and actually being important, or not finals, in the playoffs, excuse me. In my head, they're in the finals, but just being in
This
the
guy.
playoffs, I'm super excited for that, and just happy with how everything is going right now. I am excited though for next month, but I'm gonna keep that hype for the next episode.
Teaser hype. We like it. Me personally, what I'm hyped for. So for many of you who know me, I wouldn't claim that I'm a full-fledged photographer. I am into photography. I dabble in it a little bit. So my job caught wind that I was interested, or that I am interested in photography, and they asked me to take a picture for the company. This picture will be going up on billboards around our area. So that's big. For somebody who doesn't do this as a job, this is literally just a hobby. And because of COVID, hasn't really been able to be a hobby because of limited areas that I'm able to go to. But for them to ask me that, it got me pretty hype. It also got me like, goodness, man, this thing better be crisp or I'm going to look like a fool. But I was able to shoot that picture. It turned out a lot better. If my wife is listening, which she will be, she will tell you I am a perfectionist to a certain, degree when it comes to certain stuff. So I'm practicing for this thing, and I'm using her as my muse, my model, so to speak. And I'm just, can you, move a little bit to the left? I need everything to be centered before I can operate. So, and I'm not a professional. This is just something I do a little hobby with. But that was something I was hyped for. So whenever this billboard does go up, I'm gonna make sure you guys, the regulars, know. Go check it out, man. It's something I'm actually, really proud of. So, but again, as we continue each and every week, we try to reach out to you guys every week to see what you're hyped for. Make sure you let us know. We really do care about what you're hyped for. We'll make sure to let our listeners know what you're hyped for, and going from there. Hopefully next week we can get PJ back, so he can surprise his role as best host of regular guys, as he would claim. But again, we thank you guys so much, really, man, so much for continuing to listen to us, continue to grow with us. It means so much to us. It really does. I don't think you guys will ever really know how much it does really mean to us to get your support, to get your feedback. Um, look forward to the many guests that we have coming up, just the many different themes we have coming up as well. So we thank you. Jake, closing words, man, and end this out.
Yeah, just like Matt was saying, just to piggyback off that, when you guys participate in our stories, you guys let us know what you want to hear, what you want to talk about. It helps us out a lot. It shows us that you guys actually want to see this thing grow. It's just three regular guys, three friends that grew up together talking sports, and we want to find stuff that you guys like too, stuff that we can keep you entertained with. So let us know. And Matt said, excuse me, I forgot your name, bro. I'm sorry. I love you though. But
Goodness, this
I had a stroke like PJ did last week.
jeez, you might want to check out that guy. He's there.
But like he said, you guys do not understand what it means to have support. Obviously, we have it from our family, but like just our friends, it means so much when you guys are out here liking it, letting us know, hey, what about if you guys change this, or if you talk about this, or what if your intro is this, just stuff like that. We really listen to that. We talk about it. We try to implement all the changes that you guys want to see. So we really appreciate it. We love it, and we can't wait to grow, man. It's gonna be something special. All right, like I say all the time, peace.
Regular Guys Podcast.